Heated last week as Democrats chose to walk out and protest rather than to listen to an expert explain what gender reassignment surgeries really look like.
I'd like to show a video, a brief interview that was conducted by an expert in gender reassignment surgeries from Oregon's healthcare system.
Madam Chair.
Madam Chair.
I object. I move that the committee adjourn. This has turned into a circus. I move that the committee be adjourned.
Florida Congresswoman Kat Cammack joins us now with more. Good morning to you, Congresswoman.
Hey, good morning, Ainsley.
Good morning. So they're debating whether or not our tax dollars will go to children's hospitals for these gender reassignment surgeries. You're against that. You wanted to play a video of an expert who says it's basically experimental at this point, and the Democrats walked out. Why didn't they want to see this video?
Well, Ainsley, I think it's because it proves exactly what we've been saying all along, that this is experimental. This is, I want to say, almost akin to a Frankenstein experiment on children. You know, there is no consent that you can give as an adolescent to change your anatomy, particularly when in this video, the surgeon himself admits that these kids have, in many cases, not had their first sexual experiences. And how do they affirm what things are supposed to feel like and look like when they just don't know? They talk at length in this interview, in this video, that things in the operating room never stay the way that they actually are going to be. It's no peer-reviewed research, that it's just trying to figure it out in the moment. They're using robots, taking the intestinal and stomach lining of these kids' bodies to create canals. And it's a giant experiment at taxpayer expense on kids that really are just trying to figure themselves out. Now, if you're an adult, you know, that's your choice. But these kids haven't even gone through puberty in some cases. So essentially, Republicans are trying to address the physician shortage, which by 2034 is going to be 125,000 doctors short, by saying we're going to focus on the real issues here and addressing this physician shortage. Radical Democrats said, no, not unless we include gender-affirming surgery for adolescents.
Okay.
It's crazy.
Congresswoman, we have a clip of what you showed. Y'all took a vote. Republicans won. The video was shown in front of this committee. The Democrats chose to walk out and never saw this. But here is what was played. This is what you wanted them to see.
Those of us that do a fairly high volume of gender affirming surgery, you know, we've maybe done a handful of pubertally suppressed adolescents as a field, and no one's published on it yet. OHSU we're just putting our first series together as we're kind of learning and figuring out what works. But it's really changing things.
So why don't the Democrats want to hear everyone's opinion, the experts? This is a physician that does these surgeries, and they didn't want to hear what he had to say. But when we're talking about our children, isn't it important to hear all sides and then they can make a decision?
Absolutely. And if I was a constituent in any one of those Democrats' district, I would be asking and demanding answers. If you are going to take a science position, a data-backed position on whether or not to use billions of taxpayer dollars on these types of surgeries, wouldn't you want to know all of the facts? And I have to give a shout out to Chairwoman Cathy McMorris-Rogers of the Energy and Commerce Committee. She allowed this video to be played because there are no secrets. We have to get to the bottom of it. Whether you agree with it or not, you should know exactly the fact that this community has no idea what the long-term implications are. We're talking about really maiming kids who haven't made a decision in their life about consent or what they want to do with their lives. It's really difficult for prepubescent adolescents to make decisions about their anatomy when they don't even really understand it.
And I've heard you say that these hospitals don't get enough funding as is. So the money really needs to be focused on things that the children really do need. You say no reassignment surgery and no puberty blockers for individuals under the age of 18. Where does this stand now? How is this going to end up?
So Republicans were able to block the gender reassignment surgery funding for adolescents in the committee, and this will now move to the House floor. I'm really proud of the work that we've done in focusing on the issues that matter. Ainsley, as you said, you know, childhood cancer, it increases by 1 percentage point every single year. So we need to focus on things that are really, really pressing, things that are right now happening in front of us. Now we go to the House floor where we take a full vote. And I encourage people to reach out to their members of Congress get the word out how they feel about it. If you don't believe your child should be getting their anatomy rearranged by an experimental surgeon, let your representative know.
Congresswoman, thank you for coming on.
Thank you so much, Ainsley.
You're welcome.